Hello, I'm the TWIT Gamer, and we're finally returning to the Great Ace Attorney. Now we've finished Great Ace Attorney Adventures, so it's time to go over to the Great Ace Attorney Resolve. I'm not sure where the 2 fits in there, not sure at all. So, let's pretty much just get going. Let's jump into it. I enjoyed the first one. Let's see if the second one holds up. It should do. It's Ace Attorney. It's a new day, everyone.
Standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean, those days in London seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital. You know, he's flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer. I've no doubt that at this very moment, he's fighting some noble cause in court. Forgive me for taking so long to come to visit you. My life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home.
Why did she not say that line?
So I came here today to ask something of you. Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court. For the only time in my life. As a lawyer.
Oh my.
So please, I ask for your guidance.
Oh dear.
Kazuma-sama.
The Adventure of the Blossoming Attorney. So back to the Japanese court. 13th of August, 8:26 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber, number 3. Here I am again after 9 months. The Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. I feel so nervous, but I must steel my nerves and find a way to compose myself. Ah, good, you're here. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be late. Oh, yes, good morning, sir. I hardly recognize you. You got a fine figure, counsel. But you look as white as a sheet, and those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Oh dear. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous. I feel utterly nauseated. I must wish that I'd never been born. Oh, hello. No. Goodness. Not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say. Eugene Mikotoba, Professor of Medicine at the Imperial Yume University. A man who, early in his life, traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensics medical science. And of course, my brilliant father. Excuse me. Would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today? Yes. Yes, that's right, miss. Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication. This whole thing. Ray Membami? Born the same year as I and my greatest friend. Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the University Research Laboratory, helping my father. And sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial, accused of committing a truly awful murder. Are you feeling alright? Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed. Oh my, it's just that, you look so gallant and dashing. Sorry? And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful. A lot of dots. Goodness. I don't think she knows. She hasn't realized who I am. It would seem our little plan for this trial is going to work. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, what do you mean, Professor Mikotoba? If ever your best friend can't see through the disguise, I think we can relax. Oh no. Oh no. You didn't. Disguise? Yes, I never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father. Father? Quite a lot of dots. Oh, Is that you, Susato? I'm so sorry I didn't say something sooner, Ray. It's just that... No! What are you doing? What's going on? What? That varsity uniform, the varsity cap, the varsity cape, the varsity badge. Look at you. You look for all the world just like a student of the Imperial Yume University. A male student. Yeah, I wonder which one. I'm so glad you think so. It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke at 4 this morning to make a start. But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that? Well, you see... It was the only way. The only way she would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial. My defense? A lot of dots. Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. Oh, that makes sense now. I was wondering why she was so down on herself. It's like, oh. Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside the courtroom. Despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike. But women are forbidden. Just for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door. Bam, so that I can act as your lawyer. I wonder if how much she looks like him. Oh, Susato, you go to such lengths for me? Of course, you're my greatest friend. I just worry that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve. Oh no, I have complete faith in you. Ray. It's so strange, though. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already. And yet, just because you're a woman... What a wretched reason. Oh, do right. I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in the court? You're so gallant and dashing. Ray, please don't look at me like that, with those flushed cheeks and doting eyes. Oh, I'm sorry, it's just, you really do look so dashing. Yes, you mentioned that once or twice. Yeah, you should be pleased. It means you look convincing as a man. I am pleased, I think. It certainly helped to bolster my confidence today. Ray, you're managing to put on a brave face in all this, but I can see through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped, and how you're trembling ever so slightly. Susato, you do believe me, don't you? I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder. I'm very much convinced she believes you if she's gone to these lengths. Like, it shouldn't even be a question. Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Yippee! Isn't that right? Yes. Yes, it is. Perfectly clean. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence, which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be on your side. Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer. That means so much to me, Susato. Defendant? Counsel? Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. You should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty. Oh. Stand aside. I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast. Well, Susato, you've certainly surprised your father. Going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom, and with no prior experience of being a lawyer. There was simply no other way. That's all there is to it. But father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Ray doesn't know how it came to this. Oh, of course. Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her. It would only worry her if she found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case. I didn't want to burden her with that. And is it true? The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case? Is it really because of who the victim was? Yes. So many dots. We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student. Thank you, Father. Here we go. I'm Susato McTurber, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan. How many times have I wished that he were here, I wonder? Still, I have no choice now but to steel myself for the trial ahead. Wish me luck, Naruhodo-san. 13th of August, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. The courtroom. Number 1. Oh, yes, I can't believe it. Look at his hair. I mean, whoa! This court is now in session to hear the trial of Ray Mbame. The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency. Okay, yeah, I like it. I was expecting it to look more like Naruhodo, to be honest. But no, I like this look. I like the look. But anyway, loads of dots. Defense counsel, are you ready? Yes, Your Excellency. We are ready. Ready. So many dots. Yes, counsel. According to your registration details, your name is, Ryotaro Naruhodo. Is that correct? Yeah, so she is going for that approach. That's what I suspected. There's so many dots. Sorry? Oh yes, I had to come up with a suitable name for you for this little venture. Oh, so I'm afraid to say I simply put down the first name that sprung to mind. Well, counsel. Yes, that's right. That's me. Yes, I am Ryotaro, who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan. It seems Ryotaro may need to consider how better to uphold his manly act first and not overdo it. And those wild, wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax and listen. Naruhodo? fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. But the name Naruhodo, would that perchance be? You may be thinking of Ryonosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program. This is, his cousin. That's right. Ryotaro here has been studying in the provinces, but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any of Tokyo's preeminent lawyers. Any of them. Tut, tut, tut. I don't know if would be, picked up on the microphone, so I'm going with the tut tut tut. What a pitiful situation. If it wasn't picked up, then you just hear a gap there. We'll see if it worked out. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused has had to call in a country boy. How dare you? Susato is every bit as gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys. I won't have you making fun of her. Her? Oh, please be careful, Ray. Tish. What an unrefined tomboy we have here. But I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you? His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not. I'm so nervous. And now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, eyes are wont to flit. Yep, eyes are wont to flit. This case, to be heard on this day, is a matter of great significance to our national interest. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may well affect the very future of our empire. Just like the trial 9 months ago. And yet, for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock. Dear me. Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense. To determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom. 9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now. Oh look, there he is. The same judge tested him as well. And even though he was just a student at the time, not even of law, he passed the test with flying colours. For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this would be easy. So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions? Alright, it's time to prove myself. Even the same mannerisms. Yes, Your Excellency, but please do make them simple. Very well, to start with, you will state the name of the victim. Phew, that is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried. Jezebel. Something like that anyway. Ah. What's the matter? Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, minds are wont to blank. Want. I know it's want, by the way. Wont to blank. It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position and in that guise. Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstances. Oh dear. This is a dismal failure. Don't fret. You need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem. Of course. The court record. Yes, the answer will be amongst all the key information about the case in the court record. That's right. Just use RB to open the court record. RB. I guess I can't do it right now. So RB. Then you need to flip to the people section with RB. Now don't take too long over it. His Excellency is watching you closely. I've got PlayStation controls. This is going to be fun again. I forgot about that. Alright. Check the court record with RB. That's where the information I need will be. I'm waiting, counsel. What is the name of the victim in this case? Yeah, that was it. It's the Brett. I remember the bet. Yeah.
Yes!
The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Giselle Brett. Giselle Brett? A name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I am sure. Correct. And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. Anyway? So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why then is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history? Obviously. You won't have forgotten the case from 9 months ago. Obviously. But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record. Obviously, I still remember. Depends what the question is exactly. And that was the start of everything. Giselle Brett, or Giselle Brett. Behind the woman's student persona was the face of Queen Victoria. A killer out of those.
Yes!
9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed. And the culprit was Giselle Brett. Yes, she was a killer. At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain. And it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor McDarber? Yes, I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor at the university. Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve rapidly. Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court. Again! A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested on suspicion of murder. A second-year English language student by the name of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. With the help of his best friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense and exposed the despicable crime committed by Miss Giselle Brett in her weird hat. Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, she gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion. Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our empire's laws. It was decided that she would be removed to Shanghai, China, instead. Why Shanghai? There's a British consular court there. Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week. How suspicious. All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship. And yet, the very day before her departure, the Englishwoman was killed. Only the day before? Oh, yeah, the day before. That was a Tuesday, right? That will do. I am satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant. Oh. Thank you, Your Excellency. Over this first hurdle. Now, a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Ouchie? Did just like T-pose then? As is your wish, Your Excellency. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th of August, in broad daylight. Oh, look at that. On the outskirts of the imperial capital, under a bright blue sky and a secluded bathing spot by the sea. There's a crap. The incident occurred inside a small beach hut erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes. So what's with the pen? The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung. Ooh. An injury which proved fatal. There were two persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death. Miss Brett, in her bathing attire, and the accused, Ray Mbame. Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive. The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady. So many dots. So many dots. Well, that extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say. That's certainly true. The prosecution's summary was full of words that raised an awful lot of questions. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution's counsel on what he said about. I mean, I kind of want to get all the information here. That seems to be like the most appropriate situation right now, is to get all the information here. But I'm thinking this actually be a good place to end this first part here, just because it's had the recap of everything that's happened so far in regards to Naruhodo. And now we're ready to jump into the actual trial here in the next part. That just feels like a good stopping point for this part. So we shall see you in the next part, when we probably go with the bathing spot. I'm imagining we're going to do all three though, because how else are we going to get the information on all three? I want that information, you know. So we'll see what happens in the next part. Ta-ra for now.